Hello, darlings. Let's do a housing market update, but I'm going to specifically be diving into what is going on around the Space Coast, Florida area. If we haven't met, my name is Chelsea Winstead. I am a home financing strategist and a mortgage broker. I'm also a prior Air Force officer, so I have actually had a lot of people reach out to me kind of in this kind of bubble lately. And what I see is a lot of military members that then get out and then they go work for some type of aeronautical or engineering company or something to do with aviation in this part of the country. So I just felt like a video was applicable and necessary. This is also specifically going to be based on data as of January 2026. I will be aiming to do updates in this area every month, but let's kind of dive in. So let's talk through, as a PS, I'm going to talk through a couple of elements. So we're going to go through average home price, average days on market, if homes are being sold at list or under, what the year over year price change looks like, and then ultimately add all of those together. Is it a buyer or a seller's market typically based on this data? Why this matters is if you are hoping to make a purchase in 2026, having a clear understanding of the market that you are buying in is a pretty critical part of the process. Also, as a side note, if you are looking to buy outside of this area, and I don't talk about a city that you are currently wanting to purchase it, if you go to the link on my profile, pop in your information on option 1 or 2, I can actually get you added to your own personalized market analysis dashboard where you can type in the zip codes that you want to buy in, and you will get very similar information that you can pull up based on your specific budget. So now that that blurb is done, let's talk about Melbourne, Florida. Okay, so average home price here, $395,000. Average days on the market is between 55 and 65, which is kind of on the longer side. Most are selling at or under list. Now get this, year over year price change is down 3 to 5%. Okay, big thing I talk about in all of my videos. When you see year over year prices come down, that means that the market is adjusting or cooling to basically match what sellers are willing to pay. So basics of economics here, not to bore all of you, but just to explain, the market will constantly test the boundary. Okay, so what that means is the prices will continue to go up until people are no longer willing to pay that price. Okay, so in places like Florida and a lot of towns, we found the limit, and now prices are having to come down to rematch what people are willing to pay. So Melbourne is a place where this is happening. Because of that, so average days on the market being between 55 and 60, and home prices being down by 3 to 5%, this is a very clear flag that this is a 100% buyer leaning market. There's also a really strong tech and defense employment here. However, again, buyers have a huge leverage in this market because of this data. Okay, let's talk about Palm Bay. Average home price here, $365,000. Get this, again, average days on the market between 60 and 70 days. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This means sold under, most are sold under list price. Year over year price change down by 4%. The prices this year are down by 4%. Once again, huge buyer leaning market. I will say I do quite a bit of deals. I help a lot of clients out of this area. A lot of VA buyers come to this specific spot based on employment opportunity and also like pricing flexibility here. Okay, let's talk about Rockledge, Florida. So we've got home price is $430,000. Average days on the market between 50 and 60 days. A lot of homes are sold at the list price if priced correctly, but year over year pricing again here down 2%. So again, we've got a pretty strong buyer's market because average days on the market are close to 60 and the home prices are down. Big thing about this area, central location and schools do keep the demand fairly steady here. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so Viera, Florida, average home price here is $520,000. Average days on the market between 45 and 55. We've got year over year price change it's down about 1% to like flat. So no price increase. Homes are slightly down. Average day on the market less than 60. So technically this is saying a balanced market, but what essentially the indication here is a lot of high earners and lifestyle buyers buy in this area. So I would actually say with home prices being down 1%, I would say this is a little bit more buyer leaning than maybe what is indicated. Okay, let's talk about Cocoa Beach. Okay, Cocoa Beach, average home price, $550,000. Now get this, average day on the market, 70 to 90 days. Oh my God. Most are being sold under the list price. Year over year price change down 6%. Y'all, 6% down is crazy. So this is a huge buyer leaning market because we've got that. So as a note, I'm helping a client right now in this area specifically. This is a huge second home market. So there's different types of homes you can buy. Primary is what most people do. You can buy an investment property, which means that you have no intention to ever live in it or use it. You can then also purchase a second or a vacation home, which means that you are planning to use it. You intend to have your own use out of it, but you can also rent it out, like do short-term rentals. There's some specifics on that, so I will need to give you the full rundown. But in Cocoa Beach, huge second home market here. And the fact that homes are sitting for 90 days and the home prices are down 6% compared to last year, if you were ever considering even buying a primary here, I would highly look at it because right now you have so much negotiation power because of all this information. Okay, Satellite Beach. Literally have a client looking here now. Average home price it's around $580,000. Average days on the market between 60 and 70 days. Again, pretty long time. Year over year price change down 3%. Now, technically, the data points to kind of more of a balanced market, but the 60 to 70 days and prices being down, I would actually say for most of my clients, they're getting a lot of negotiation power and leverage as a buyer because of this information. With that said, though, the beach and the schools does keep this market from like totally like cooling, but down 3% and 60 to 70 days on the market, you as a buyer, tons of advantages that you can take, like that you can access. As just a high level too, so the Space Coast area is just different because number one, there's actually a really heavy prior military population here. We have a lot of people who transition out of like active duty military and into aerospace, defense, or tech roles in this area. The cool thing also is that, so the VA loan, a lot of people don't understand, as long as your income can support it, there's no like maximum on a VA loan. Now, there are going to be limits based on the county, but like in general, what's really cool about this area, and a lot of my clients that I help out of this area, you know, they are prior military or they're a VA buyer where they can take advantage of that 0% down option because now they're in a civilian job career, which then supports higher income, which then means, right, that they can purchase at a higher price point than they probably would have when they were active duty. A huge thing also, just to keep in mind, Florida as a whole, for any Florida buyer, has the prices here have been wildly corrected. Now, there's a misunderstanding that the demand is totally gone. That's not a thing. But as a buyer, there is so much opportunity for you to take advantage of because of the big change in the year over year pricing this year compared to last year, and also how long the houses are sitting on the market. Okay. As a reminder, if you'd like to access a personalized dashboard where you can run numbers, pop in your information, look at different zip codes, look at the specifics, even if like you're wanting to buy in a part of Florida or any part of the country, to be honest, that I didn't cover, link in my profile, first or second option, pop in your info. I will then make a custom and personalized dashboard for you that will give you this information based on where you are wanting to buy. As always, if you have any questions, my comments are always open, and I'll see you guys soon.